Well, good afternoon once again, gentlefolks. Thank you for joining me for another video for your NFL game picks and betting tips, and also predictions. I hope you had a wonderful week last week, and we are now on the final week of the NFL, week 18. After then, we're gonna have some wildcard games, and then we're gonna head into the playoffs. Divisional championship games, and then head into the playoffs. So now let's jump straight into it. And this week we're not going to have any Thursday night football. We're going to start on Saturday, so it's going to be Saturday and Sunday. 2 games on Saturday, as you can see here, and 14 on Sunday. So on Saturday we're going to kick things off with the Chiefs versus Raiders. And for this particular game, as usual, I'm going to give you the winner, the predicted scoreline, and the spread. Alright, so for me, I'm taking the Chiefs to win this game. Chiefs to win, and I'm saying that they should win. And in terms of the spread, I'm going to take minus 7.5 for the Chiefs. And in terms of total points for this game, I do believe that we're going to have under 53 points. So recapping predictions for Chiefs versus the Raiders, I'm expecting the Kansas City Chiefs to win here at $1.28, and I'm taking the Kansas City Chiefs also. In terms of the spread, minus 7.5, and that's $1.87. In terms of total points, I'm saying we should have under 53 points for this game, and that's $1.90. If that does happen, right? And now we're going to skedaddle on over to our next game here on Saturday, and it's Tennessee Titans versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. And for this game now, I'm taking the Jacksonville Jaguars to win this one. Jacksonville Jaguars to win, and I'm saying that here in terms of a spread, I'm going to take the Jacksonville Jaguars at minus 6.5. And in terms of total points, I believe here we should have over 39 points, and so therefore I'm going to hit over 39.5 points. So recapping predictions, I'm expecting the Jacksonville Jaguars to win at $1.35. In terms of a spread, I'm taking the Jacksonville Jaguars also at minus 6.5, and that's $1.90. In terms of total points, I'm saying we should have over 39.5 points, and that's $1.83. Alright, so moving on to Sunday now, we're going to start with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Atlanta Falcons. And for this game now, I'm expecting here the Bucs to take care of business. It's not going to be easy for them. It's going to be a challenging game. I do expect the Bucs to win. In terms of a spread, I'm taking the Bucs here at plus 3.5, and in terms of total points, I'm saying here we should have over 40 points in this game, I do believe. So we should have over 40.5. Yes. So recapping predictions for the Buccaneers versus the Falcons, I'm expecting Tampa Bay Buccaneer to win at $2.37. Really lovely odds. I'm also taking the Tampa Bay Buccaneer at plus 3.5 in terms of the spread, and that's $1.83. In terms of total points, I do believe we should have over 40.5 points. So that's 41 or more points in total in this game, and if that does happen, then it's $1.95 at the moment. If you take that bet, you should go ahead and take that bet now. Alright, so let's move right along to our next game, and our next game will be New England Patriots versus the Buffalo Bills. And for this game now, I'm taking the Buffalo Bills. Take care of business here. Buffalo Bills to win, and I'm expecting also, I'm going to take the Buffalo Bills in terms of a spread. I'm going to take them at minus 7.5, and in terms of total points, I'm saying here that we should have over 42 points in this game. Yes, here we are, over 42.5. And so recapping predictions for the Bills versus the Patriots, I'm expecting the Bills to win at $1.28. I'm taking the Bills also in terms of the spread at minus 7.5, and that's $1.90. In terms of total points, I'm saying we should have over 42.5 points, and that is $1.90 also. Alright, so those are my predictions for the Patriots versus the Bills, and now we're going to move on to Vikings versus the Bears. The Vikings, they have been struggling of late, and so they already made their way into the playoffs. They're not worrying. I guess they're just showing up at the theme for the playoffs. They're not worrying themselves too much. The next big dance is the playoff. So losing here, it might affect where they're placed in the playoff, but I don't think they are overly concerned at the moment. The Bears, they've had an awful season. Justin Fields, I would say that he has had a fair enough season. They have had a couple of games that they have been in, and they were just unfortunate to lose those games. But next season, I'm expecting them to do way better, and they might challenge for the playoffs. But for this game now, I'm going to go with the Bears also to win. Maybe Justin Fields want a feather in his cap, so they might go ahead and push to win, and I think they might beat the Vikings based on how the Vikings have been off late. But it's anybody's game, but I'm going with Chicago Bears to win this one. In terms of a spread, I'm also going with the Chicago Bears, and that is I'm taking them at plus 3.5 rather. And in terms of total points for this game, I'm saying here we should have under 46 points. So let's go ahead and scroll through here. So we should have under 45.5. Alright, so recapping predictions for the Vikings versus the Bears. I'm expecting the Bears to win at $2.50. In terms of spread, I'm taking the Bears also at plus 3.5, and that's $1.95. In terms of total points, I'm saying here we should have under 45.5 points, and that's $1.95 if that does happen in the game, the Vikings versus the Bears. So let's move along to the next game, and the next game will be Ravens versus the Bengals. Baltimore Ravens versus Cincinnati Bengals. Now this is going to be an interesting one. The Baltimore Ravens, they have been struggling for the best part of the last 4 or 5 games, since Jackson has been out, that is. They have been struggling. They haven't been doing much, but I guess the defense, they have been keeping them in games for the most part, but the offense has been awful, and so therefore they'll be hoping to get that all sorted out by the time it gets to the playoffs. But for this game, in terms of my predictions, I'm giving the Bengals the win here. I'm expecting the Bengals to win. In terms of spread, I'm taking the Bengals also at minus 6.5, and in terms of total points here, I'm saying that we should have over 42 points in this one, so over 42.5. And let's go ahead and recap predictions for the Ravens versus the Bengals. And for the Ravens versus the Bengals, I'm expecting the Bengals to win at $1.33. And in terms of spread, I'm taking the Bengals also at $1.83. In terms of total points, I'm saying here that we should have over 42.5 points, and that's $1.95 if that does happen based on the current odds here on Betway. Alright, so those are my predictions for the Ravens versus the Bengals, and now we're going to move right along into the next game, and the next game will be the Houston Texans versus the Indianapolis Colts. And now this one should be another interesting one. Texans might be looking to upset the apple cart here, and this is the upper cart, but they might be looking to chew a spoke in the Colts wheel. Let's see how this one goes. But for me, I am looking here that both teams, they have had an awful season, and this again is not anyone's game, I do believe, but I'm going to go with the Colts to win this one. The Colts to win. And in terms of a spread, I'm going to take the Colts as well at minus 2.5. And in terms of total points here, I'm saying that we should have over 38 points in this game, I do believe. So over 38.5, yes. So for this game now, I'm saying here Texans versus the Colts. Recapping predictions, I'm expecting the Colts to win at $1.71. In terms of spread, I'm taking the Colts at minus 2.5, and that's $1.87 if we do that. And in terms of total points, I'm saying we should have over 38.5 points in this game, and that's $1.95 if that does happen in terms of the odds currently here in Betway. Alright, so let's move into the next game, and the next game will be New York Jets versus the Miami Dolphins. And for this game now, for this year game now, Dolphins, they have been going in the opposite direction. And I'll just say that the last 5 they have lost them, and if they have managed to win at least 3 of those games or 2 of those games, they would have been a way better position in terms of the playoff picture. And so therefore they find themselves hanging on by a thread now, and so it's going to be interesting. The Jets also, they have been going backwards too. So you see both teams in the last 5 games, they have lost all 5. So this is going to be an interesting one. But I do expect the Dolphins to pull it together, but the Jets, and I don't expect the Jets to allow them to come in and just take it like that though. Anyways, I'm going to go with the Dolphins to win. Being at home, I'm going to trust that they're going to take this one. So the Dolphins to win here. And in terms of spread, I'm also going to go with the Dolphins, and that's at I'm going to take the Dolphins at minus 1.5. And in terms of total points, I'm saying here that we should have over 39 points in this game, and so therefore here it is. So recapping predictions here for this game, New York Jets versus Miami Dolphins. I'm expecting the Dolphins to win at $1.87. In terms of a spread, I'm taking the Dolphins at minus 1.5, and that's $1.95. In terms of total points, I'm saying we should have over 38.5 points, and that's $1.95. $1.90. Yeah, if that does happen in this game. So that's how the cookie crumbles for the Jets versus the Dolphins for me. And now we're going to move on to the Carolina Panthers versus New Orleans Saints. And for the Carolina Panthers versus New Orleans Saints here, this one is going to be another tough matchup, I do believe. They're going to fight it out in the end, and but I'm going to give the Saints a victory here. I'm expecting the Saints to take care of business, but don't be surprised if the Panthers come and take the win from them. But the Saints to win. In terms of spread, I'm going to take the Saints as well at minus 3.5. In terms of total points, I'm saying here that we should have over 41 points in this game, I do believe. So here we go, over 41.5. Recapping predictions for the Panthers versus the Saints. I'm expecting the Saints to win here at $1.55. In terms of a spread, I'm taking the Saints as well at minus 3.5, and that's $1.90. In terms of total points, I'm saying here we should have over 41.5 points, and that's $1.90 also. Yeah, so those are my predictions for the Panthers versus the Saints, and now we're going to move right along on to the Cleveland Browns versus the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? And so the Pittsburgh Steelers, they're still with a chance to make the playoffs, and so they are going to be coming here all out. They're usually a very good defensive team, and then being at home, I don't expect it to be any less here against the Browns. Alright, so I'm going to give the Steelers the win here. Steelers to win for me in this game, and in terms of a spread, I'm taking the Steelers at minus 2.5, and in terms of total points, I'm saying here we should have over 39 points in this game, I do believe. So over 39.5. So recapping predictions for the Browns versus the Steelers, I'm expecting the Steelers to win at $1.66. In terms of spread, I'm taking the Steelers at minus 2.5, and that's $1.87. In terms of total points here now, I'm saying that we should have over 39.5 points, and that's $1.83 if that does happen currently, based on the odds here, right? So let's move along to the next game, and the next game will be the Chargers versus the Broncos. Whoa, the Broncos versus Wilson too. These guys have had the most awful season that you could ever had in an NFL year. They don't have the worst record this season too, but wow, they have been atrocious. They have been atrocious. These guys, they are not putting much on the board. I think they might be averaging maybe about 12 or 15 points, yeah, per game. Defensively, they did very well for the first, I think, 6-7 weeks of the NFL. So especially when they were playing at home, it wasn't easy to get a lot of points past them. But anyways, let's head into the predictions for this game. The Chargers versus the Broncos. I'm expecting the Chargers to handle business here. It's not going to be easy though, because the Broncos will be playing to save face, and so I'm saying the Chargers to win, but it's not going to be easy for them. Yeah, Chargers to win. In terms of a spread, also I'm going to take the Chargers at minus 3.5. In terms of total points here, you know, I'm saying that we should have under 41 points in this game, I do believe. So under 40.5, yeah. So recapping predictions for the Chargers versus the Broncos, I'm expecting the Chargers to win at $1.60. In terms of a spread, I'm going to take Chargers also at minus 3.5, and that's at $2. Nice odds. Yeah, and in terms of total points, I'm saying we should have under 41 points here, which is 40.5. And this is $1.83 if that does occur currently here on Betway in terms of the odds. Yeah. So those are my predictions for the Chargers versus the Broncos, and now we're going to move on to the New York Giants versus the Philadelphia Eagles. And for this year game now, this is a game that I do believe that the Eagles, they don't need to push themselves much. Yes, they might be pushing to get the top seed, yeah, but it's more important to win the Super Bowl than to go and push out and maybe get other injuries and all of that. Hurts was out. I think he might be good for this game, but I don't I wouldn't suggest the play him. Yeah, you can just keep him until the thing there, the playoffs. Yeah, and the playoffs isn't far. We're now in January. Yeah. Anyways, I head into the predictions for this. I'm taking the Giants to win. Going to have to be a giant leap for them to win here, it seems. Yeah, so you're getting $6 for the Giants to win that. This is one of the best odds I've ever seen all season, this year's season in the NFL. $6 for the Giants to win. Yeah, You put $100 in this, you make $700. Yeah. For the Giants to win for me. In terms of a spread, I'm going to take the Giants also, and I'm seeing the Giants at plus. Let me see here. The Giants. I have plus 6.5, but I'm not seeing that, so I'm gonna go with the lowest one here, and I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with plus 9.5. Right. So in terms of total points here now, I do believe that we're going to end up over 43 points in this game. Yeah. So this is it, over 43.5. To recap in predictions for the Giants versus the Eagles, I'm expecting the Giants to win at $6. Yes, folks, $6 the Giants to win. Yeah. In terms of a spread, I'm taking the Giants also at plus 9.5, and that is $2.40. Yeah. And in terms of total points, I'm saying we should have over 43.5 points, and this is $2.05. Yeah, at the present moment. So, folks, ensure you grab out your piece of paper or your notebook and you're making notes. Yeah. Remember, I told you that the Giants were going to win this one. All right. Let's jump on to our next game, and our next game will be the Arizona Cardinals versus the San Francisco 49ers. Cardinals, awful season. Murray's out. I think he's gonna be out for the better part. Maybe he's gonna come back maybe about December of this year or November. Yeah, based on what they're saying currently, but I don't know. Yeah, and hopefully when he comes back, he come back in good shape, because I said those certain injuries tend to kind of throw you off. Yes. And anyways, for me, I'm going to take here the 49ers to handle business, because Hopkins is also out for this game based on the injury report that I read yesterday. So he should be out unless things change otherwise. So that's two big blows for them. Murray out, Hopkins out. Yeah, very tough for them. All right, then. So and the 49ers win for me. In terms of a spread, I'm going to take the 49ers at let's see here. These way too big. All right, then. So we're going to take minus at 9.5 for the 49ers. Right. And in terms of total points now, I'm saying here that we should have over 40 points in this one. Right, we should have over 40 points. Yep, 39.5. There we go. So recapping predictions for the Cardinals versus the 49ers, I'm expecting the 49ers to win here at $1.12. In terms of a spread, I'm taking the 49ers at minus 9.5, and that's $1.50, meaning here they should win by 10 points or more. Yeah. Total points here, I'm saying that we should have over 39.5, and that's $1.80 if that does occur in this game here. Alright, so let's move right along into the next game, and the next game will be the Rams versus the Seattle Seahawks. And so this is another interesting matchup. Defending champions versus the Seahawks. Baker Mayfield getting a chance here at the Rams to prove himself once again, and so therefore it's going to be an interesting matchup, I do believe. I think Seahawks are still in with a chance to make it to the playoffs. I think, I don't remember, I'll have to check again. So that makes the game more interesting, and so therefore it's going to be a tough game. It's not going to be easy for Seahawks, but I do favor the Seahawks. I'm expecting the Seahawks to win here, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams beat them. Yeah. The Rams have managed to pull a rabbit out of the hat a couple times in the last 5 games. Yeah, and so therefore don't be surprised if they are able to pull one out here in this game. Yeah. Alright then, so the Seahawks to win for me in this game, and in terms of a spread, I'm going to take the Seahawks also at let me scroll down here, scroll down. I'm going to take the Seahawks at minus 3.5, and in terms of a spread, that is. And in terms of total points here now, I'm saying that we should have over 41 points in this game. Alright, here we go. Alright, so recapping predictions for the Rams versus the Seahawks. I'm expecting the Seahawks to win at $1.35. In terms of a spread, I'm taking the Seahawks also at minus 3.5, and that's $1.55. In terms of total points, I'm saying here we should have over 40.5 points, and that's $1.80. yeah, for this game that is. And so therefore, Entree you're taking the notes, folks. So that's how the cookie crumbles on my part for the Rams versus the Seahawks. The Seahawks to win for me, and we should have over 40.5 points in its game. All right. So the Cowboys versus the Commanders. No, this is another interesting one too. The Cowboys versus the Commanders. I think the Cowboys might be just trying to settle themselves now to head into the playoffs and take care of business. They have been poised. They're projected to do good things in the playoffs. Maybe about 2 seasons now, but they're yet to produce. And so let's see what happens here this coming season, the end of this season here. Alright, so for this game, the Cowboys versus the Commanders, I'm taking the Cowboys to win here. Commanders are not going to let them have it easy though, so don't be surprised if it's the Commanders running over them a bit. Yeah, so the Cowboys to win for me in this one. In terms of a spread, I'm going to take the Cowboys at minus 3.5. In terms of total points, I'm saying here that we should have over 41 points in this game. And so I'm going to, yep, here we go, over 41 points. So recapping predictions for the Cowboys versus the Commanders, I'm expecting the Cowboys to win. Not going to be a walkover though, and they're at $1.44. In terms of spread, I'm taking the Cowboys also at minus 3.5, and that's $1.71 rather, sorry. And in terms of total points, I'm saying we should have over 41 points in this game, over 40.5 be exact, and that's $1.83. Yeah, so those are my predictions for the Cowboys versus the Commanders. Now we're going to head into our final game for this here game week 18, the final game week of this here NFL season before we head into the wild card games and then ultimately into the playoffs. Yeah, as you know, the playoffs are knockout. And so therefore, here we go. This is our final game. This is how the cookie crumbles for the whole season this year, NFL season. I think this is what, the 103rd year or the 102nd year of the NFL, if memory serves me correctly. And this year game, Sunday night game, it's the Lions versus the Green Bay Packers. Both teams in with a chance, I believe, and it's going to be and it should be a very interesting one. Yeah, the Green Bay Packers made a statement last week, and so therefore it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one for both teams, but Rodgers having the experience, and the Lions also, you can't count them out. They have managed to handle themselves well enough this season, so yeah, but I'm going to go with the Packers to take care of business here. Packers to win for me. In terms of a spread, I'm going to take the Packers at minus 4.5. In terms of total points, I do believe we should have over 41 points in this game. So let's go down here. Not seeing that. So far, I am not seeing over 41 points. So what I'm going to do, my next best thing here, and I'm going to go with under 52 points. Yeah. So recapping predictions for the Lions versus the Packers, I'm expecting the Green Bay Packers to win here at $1.50. In terms of a spread, I'm taking the Green Bay Packers at minus 4.5, and that's $1.90. In terms of total points, I believe we're going to have under 51.5 points, yes, for this game, and that's $1.66 if that does happen with the current odds here in Betway. Yeah. So that's how the cookie crumbles for the Lions versus the Green Bay Packers, and that's how the cookie crumbles for this year's season of the NFL, the postseason that is. After this, we're going to head into the wildcard games and then the playoffs, yeah? And so therefore, it's going to be another interesting and challenging season. For me, in terms of the Super Bowl, I think the Bills stand a chance again. And also in terms of the Bills for me, and the Bills team to look out for, the Bills, the Eagles, the Chiefs, yeah, and if the Bengals also, the Ravens might be on the outskirts, the Buccaneers, you have to watch them as well. So for me, it's 5 teams are in with a shout for me, really and truly, in terms of winning this Super Bowl this season, yeah. But ultimately, I think it's going to be between the Bills and the Eagles, yeah. but we have to watch out for the other teams that I just mentioned. Anyway, folks, thank you for joining me once again. Ensure that you subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so that whenever these videos comes out, then you get them right away. Yeah. Thank you for your support. Thank you for all that you have done for me this year. Yeah. Thank you for the motivation. I'm looking forward to continue doing this next season. And so I wish you all best of luck in your betting, and thank you for your time and have a great year. All right, thanks.